Alrighty then, looks like we're live. Hello there everyone, and welcome back to another SRB2 character replay stream. We're going through all of the characters I've played in the past, revisiting them, ready for the 5k subscriber special. Now, in this stream, we're doing 3 mods. I ended up being a little tired by the end of the last one. I wasn't particularly well, so we're going for a slightly smaller amount this time, doing 3 mods, although one of those mods is Delta Characters, so we'll probably play them all together as one team. But also we have Metal Sonic 3.0 and Eggette, so we'll probably play a full round of the vanilla game as Metal Sonic 3.0 and Eggette, and then we'll play Delta Characters in their own modded level. I'm only counting them as a single character for the point of the ranking, because the whole character switch mechanic is a pretty intrinsic part of their gameplay, so just the nature of these things. So, we're starting with Metal Sonic 3.0, who, to be completely honest, is kinda just an upgraded version of Metal Sonic. Base Metal Sonic. He has a faster hover. I think his boost mode is slightly better in some respects, though I'm not quite sure how. That's really it. He's not that different. But, you know, Metal Sonic's a particularly favourite character of mine, so I'm not going to complain too much. Joe Vitor Gamer 9965 says hello. Hello there. Good to see you. And Yoshi the Maids saying they're playing Rhythm Doctor. They need something to take their mind off the stress of trying to 100% it. I've never heard of that game, so I don't know why it's so stressful, but fair enough. Are these new characters? No, I think all of these are fairly old. I don't know exactly off the top of my head how old. I think Delta Characters is the newest one, but even they're pretty old at this point. But yeah, Metal Sonic 3.0 and Eggette especially are fairly old characters at this point. Okay, not quite high enough jump height to get up there. Good enough to do this. Wheel around like that. I love finding out about that. It's just a nice little time saver. Yeah, you're gonna need to explain what Rhythm Doctor is. I've never heard of it. Is it? I'm assuming a rhythm game based on the on the title. I think that's probably a fair bet, but beyond that, I don't know. Never heard of it. All right, let's just get this guy out of the way quickly. All right, you're gonna go to the right. Yes, there we are. Easy mode. Now, I think Metal Sonic 3.0 is technically using Metal Sonic's old sprites, so I mean, I think in terms of silhouette there aren't that many differences. It's going to be a case of things like skidding and all the rest of that. That's something we're going to have to check out. Let's see. Yeah, like modern Metal Sonic, so since 2.2.14 has a new skidding animation, so this guy is a little bit outdated. I think silhouettes wise I think in terms of how the sprites have changed, outside of the few new ones, I think it's just colours and that's it for Metal Sonic in 2.2.14, so we're not going to see it, seeing as we're playing as a Metal Sonic with a completely different colour scheme, but just something to keep in mind that this is technically an outdated version of Metal Sonic now. Go. I was watching some Dipper Deliver episodes earlier today, some speedrunning things, and just like, my god, how do you manage that? It's really impressive stuff. Just watching them and being like, knowing the levels that much inside out, just like, my god. Rhythm Doctor is a one-button rhythm game about counting to 7. The catch, of course, is that it will do everything in your power to stop you from counting to 7. Interesting. I'm really bad at rhythm games. I've got no rhythm at all. The only one I was any good at was No Straight Roads, and that was only because I liked the music in that so much that I just kind of played it obsessively. I was listening to it outside of the game and all the rest of that. So that was the one game that I just kind of knew the songs inside out enough. I knew the game mechanics enough that I could kind of get through it all. Right up until it was like, okay, now play one hit, wonder mode or whatever it's called. And it's like, no, I don't want to try and do it while having to block every single attack. Are you crazy? Oh, nearly got. I'm not quite sure how his hover boost works. Like, sometimes he's destroying enemies and they're running into him while in that mode, and other times he's still being damaged. So I don't know whether it's like you have to be a certain speed for it to work or what. It's always going so well right up until we hit a wall and just drop dead. For my exploit tell you this afternoon, faring better than last time. I ended up staying out pretty late after I said I was going to bed after the last stream, but I was feeling awful. So, feeling a lot better. I've already recorded the Castlevania episode for today. It's a pretty short one. It turns out that at this point the game is kind of gone pretty linear. But that'll take us right up until the finale tomorrow. And then I think we're moving on to Altered Beast. I ended up finding the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis Classics collection somewhere, so there's going to be a lot of old Genesis Mega Drive games of that time. So Altered Beast, Super Thunderblade's on there. Some of the Sonic games that aren't in the Sonic Origins collection are in there, so Sonic 3D Blast mainly. Sonic R I've just kind of got separately. That's not in the collection, but I've got that separately. And then there's stuff like ToadSam and Earl, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, so there's a lot of them. I didn't know Altered Beast was the third game in the Castlevania series, lol. Well, yeah. But it's the next playthrough after Castlevania 2. I'm doing it all in like chronological order in my backlog, because I'm weird like that. I've got a few odd looks from friends. But I've got 850 games in said backlog, so we got plenty of material. I'm having to stop myself from downloading or installing any games up until we've gotten at least a little bit into that, made something of a dent in that. Because I do want to eventually get to like Control and Alan Wake, and if I keep adding more games to that collection, we're never going to get there. So, yeah. Do a little bit of Bannock bouncing. But yeah, if you are watching my playthroughs, and you do want to see how they're going, I've listed my backlog on, funnily enough, backlogged. So, chronological, do you mean release date? Yes, I do mean release date. So, for example, it was Castlevania first, and then I ended up getting Flicky in that Sega Mega Drive and Genesis Classics, so we went back a little bit for that. But then it's, continuing on, Castlevania 2, Altered Beast, Super Thunderblade, yada yada. Kind of wasted those speed suits there. Ended up kind of bouncing off the slope a little bit. So yeah, it's a lot of games, especially classic games, because that Mega Drive and Genesis Classics are only like 50 games. There's a couple of RPGs in there, so for example, Phantasy Stars listed on there. Phantasy Star 2, 3, and 4 at least. I don't know why Phantasy Star 1's not on there, but it's what it is. Of course, Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic 2 and all the rest of that are on there, but to be completely frank, I've got a million ways to play those at this point. You know, I've got that Classics, I've got Origins, I've got loads of ways to play Sonic 1, 2, and 3 CD as well. There's also, yeah, Origins as well. They've got the old Game Gear games on the emulator. I'm going to have to look into that to see whether they have like save states or all the rest of it, or whether I'm going to have to do them all in one out of necessity. But they're also listed on that thing, ready for when we get there. See, I don't know how his boost works. Sometimes it deals damage, sometimes it doesn't. And we don't have the height to get up there. Yeah. But other than the speed boost, the other benefit of Golden Sonic 3.0, Metal Sonic 3.0, Golden Metal Sonic's a different character. But the other benefit of his is that it doesn't lose height even if you stop. So it's a pretty strong ability. I don't think he has anything else though, really. We're never getting the JackalMan Don't Have Rhythm compilation. I'm sure there'll be something else in that series that has some sort of rhythm element that you'll find out about my lack of rhythm from. Don't worry. Yeah, so there's 800 games in that thing, but to be fair, we're probably going to skip a couple of them, because a lot of it is stuff like FIFA and PES and all the rest of that. And as much as I'm sure they're great games, I don't care about football or soccer at all, so we'll probably end up skipping a few of them. But yeah, just slowly chipping away at them over time. Well, I mean, I think we're, what, 3 games into it? So yeah. Sonic 1 Forever, Sonic 2 Absolute. Yes, and Sonic 3 Air as well. I don't know whether that's still a thing, but you have Angel Island Revisited. I know that was big for a while. I know its momentum was kind of drained by the fact that Sonic Origins finally let you play a somewhat legitimate version of Sonic 3, so that was like its main selling point gone. But I know it's still a pretty fantastic remake, remaster, port, whatever you want to call it, of Sonic 3. Sonic 3 Air is still around. Yeah, good to see. It's fun. It's funny looking at some of the things that were like really big when I started getting into Sonic again, and they've all just kind of disappeared. So like Sonic GT was huge, Sonic Time Twisted was huge, Sonic Project Hero. I know that's kind of gone a bit of a it's got some wind back in its sails again, because I think it got it's been worked on again with like actual level design and stuff, but that was big for a while and then it kind of disappeared. What else was there? Sonic GT, Sonic Time Twisted, Sonic 3 Air, Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit. That was later. They were just kind of seeds. What? Sonic Flash, I think it was. I can't remember the exact heading, but it was like Sonic on Flash mode, and of course it was advanced sprites because everything was advanced sprites back then. People loved the advanced sprites, and very fair. They're a great set. Let's just get the emeralds. I'm fairly certain he does have a super form. I'm fairly certain I did see on the download page that Metal Sonic 3.0 does have some sort of ability to transform. Origins did not take the wind out of its sails. Yeah, maybe not from like a hardcore people who want the best Sonic 3 experience, but more so in the fact that even in the public eye, as the only way to play Sonic 3, it kind of lost that when, even if Sonic Origins ports weren't that good, in the public eye it was a version of Sonic 3 that was legitimate. So I think it kind of maybe took a little bit of the spotlight off of it, just by virtue of there being a new version of Sonic 3 to play. Yeah, I don't mean to say that's like Sonic Origins was a superior version. Oh yeah, custom transformation animation, that's something. I'm not quite sure what he gains. I think it might just be the usual buffs, to be honest. I don't think he gets any new abilities. I think it's either Golden Metal Sonic or Clone Metal Sonic that can fire out. Oh, great momentum. They can fire out energy bursts from their chest. Well, that was a little bit anticlimactic, but it's what it is. I'm sure we'll see it in a couple of stages anyway. Alright, well, let's just get up here before I continue yapping. There we are. Gotta be careful about momentum, because I keep getting them confused. Metal Sonic 3.0 has a lot of it, so careful. Football games are just gambling sims now, 100%. Never been a fan of them. I've never really gone the appeal. My brother's a big football, soccer fan, so I've played a fair amount of FIFA and stuff just with him. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. Origins was buggy as hell. Yeah. Yeah, I know it was pretty rough on launch. It was a pretty rough release. To be fair, it's just being able to play the games in widescreen is a bonus for me. I will be honest. Like in Metal Sonic 3.0, because he's just a stronger version of Metal Sonic, who I like a lot. Not really enough to kind of give him points beyond, because he doesn't do anything that interesting with it. But there are like a couple of oddities in terms of like sometimes I'm hitting things and it's destroying them when they shouldn't really be because I'm not in a board form, stuff like that. Let's see. Ooh, camera. Let's not get stuck there. Not much to see. I do like how quickly you can go super in this stage. It's good for testing super formers out because it's, you know, it's got a good mix of platform, it's got a good mix of difficult hazards, so it's a good place to kind of test it out, especially when you can get into the super form really quickly. Right, launch ourselves up. Dash straight over here. Doesn't seem he goes into the boost mode any faster, so I'm a little bit curious what the buffs actually are. It really does seem like it is just stats are better. Right, we'll go this way, and then with Eggette we'll go the other way. Because Metal Sonic 3.0, obviously a speedster, so we're just trying to go for things that at best suit that, and then Eggette being a sort of an echo fighter, I think the mod download page describes them as, of Egg Pack, very much an explorer, so very good that they have completely different niches, because it means we're not going to be repeating ourselves. Especially when our third mod, we're going to be playing a modded level for it, because I actually have already done Delta Characters in a stream like this. Well, I think it was the first stream I did actually. I think that was Delta Characters, so don't really need to recover them again outside of just sake of completeness. Right, let's just get to the top here. There we go, boom. It is a good color scheme. You know, I'm not biased in any way. I'm not biased in saying that the black and gold is a good color scheme, but I'm just making an observation. You know that naturally Metal Sonic gets cooler when he's black and gold. I don't know what kind of crack Sonic team puts into their robot characters, because they're just, all of them are so cool. Metal Sonic, Gamma, Omega, Emerald and Zemerald. They've got it down, the whole making robot characters formula. And then the Mega Man Archie collaboration, where they made, like, you know, it was like Amy Woman, Tails Man. Oh, that was good. Couldn't read it because like comics just aren't a thing where I am. Like, I don't think there's a single comic store in miles of me. I think I've been in one comic store my entire life. They just don't exist. Right, okay, so we can just boost into them. So I'm not, which just further confuses me even more, because I'm like, okay, so why is it that sometimes I'm boosting into people and getting damaged and other times I'm just not? There we are. And a super cool idle animation. As much as we didn't get it there, you know, we're getting it on top of other capsules. It's just a really cool idle animation. So I say rings back here, yes. We'll take the rings there. I don't think we. Oh, maybe no. I was about to say we can get up here. Let's see. Are those rings? Yes. So take those. Keep ourselves safe. And we can get over here. That's good. Any chance... Yeah, okay, we can get that. If it wasn't for the fact that the whole, like, sticky stuck on the wall glitch happened. I don't know what causes that, like, when you're sometimes going up against a wall and you just stick to it like glue. It doesn't feel good. Get up there quickly. Are we going to make it? Because we've not got the boosted springs. I think we might need to put a little bit of ingenuity on this one. Yeah, other side of this. Doom engine funny. Yeah. There's only so much you can do when you're using an engine this old. We can technically go super at this point, but I think we're stuck with the sealed. Yeah. I forget that we're going down the Amy path, so all of this kind of struggling with. But it's fine. We're playing as Metal Sonic, we can just go around. Do that nice and gracefully. There we go, we get a nice bit of open ground to just charge forward with. Well, I suppose did eventually go super. Grab those extra rings. Are we going to be able to just glide over? I can't remember what the height's like. Oh wait, no, of course Metal Sonic has his own route, doesn't he? I do forget. I so rarely do this with Metal Sonic in the intended fashion. There's like, oh yeah, no, this is supposed to be for him. Okay, we just need to get the distance. Let's be far enough, especially in super form. No? Oh, what do you want me to do, game? Like all the way back here. Ah. Well, it's not a very graceful end, but I'll have to do. GKS says, yo, hello there GKS, good to see you. Or Glide KS, either you'd like to style that. There's another level done. I just noticed that he's listed as Mac 3'0 in the ending screen, not as Metal Sonic 3.0. I mean, I'm fairly certain that SRB2 has a full stop or a decimal place in the in its font library, so I'm not quite sure why it lacks that here. Also, the Moti hover's good. It's been so long since I played with the vanilla cast, I'm not sure whether that's something that Metal Sonic already has, but it definitely feels good here. Right, this always throws me off, this one, but managed to get up there this time, it's all good. And we're getting through this very quickly. I am good. As much as I do like SRB2, I am going to be glad when 2.3 comes along, just so that there's a couple of new levels to run through. Because we've done, what, like 5 years of this now? I know these levels do well at this point. Running through them every couple of days does get a bit dull after some time. It's part of why I started doing the playthroughs, just to have a little bit of variety. Have the ability to maybe branch out into other videos in the future. I do want to do stuff on Castlevania. You know, that's something that I have really enjoyed. Apart from that last boss fight with Dracula, I did really enjoy my time with the original Castlevania. And then Simon's Quest, as much as it is infamously quite frustrating, I have enjoyed that a lot, so Yeah. Yeah, Mach 3.0. Not sure what's going on there, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. Oh, it's going to be because Metal Sonic 3.0 doesn't fit, isn't it? Like, maybe Metal Sonic just about fits. Oh wait, no, isn't he Metal? Just listed as Metal at the end, I think. I don't think he, even Metal Sonic, I don't think he gets his full name. So yeah, there you go. That's why it's Mach 3.0, I guess. Because maybe even Metal 3.0 doesn't fit. Right, well we have lost one ring from that. Well done, Fang. Just 10 more hits and you'll get me. Ah. This one does drag on a fair bit. Great. Oof. Right, we'll fight you again. Why not? Ah, missed it. Where are my rings? There they are. They all somehow managed to get away from me. Boom. Come on. It's just dragging out everyone's time here, to be honest. I think Fang might be worse. Like, if you can get Metal Sonic to behave just for a little bit, it's a fast enough fight that it doesn't drag on for too long, because you can do a lot of hits in a single cycle if he behaves. But yeah, I think if you were to compare a well-behaved Metal Sonic fight to a Fang boss fight, I do think Fang comes out worse. Just because with a lot of characters, you really don't have the opportunity to hit him outside of a cycle because of his weird hitboxes. Like, for most characters, you just can't get the height and still have an active hitbox to get above him for the hit. And it just causes it to drag on. Like, you know, a minute and a half is not that much. Well, that's awkward. A minute and a half isn't that much, but when you're looking at how long other boss fights take in this game, it is lengthy. I mean, the only two that really compare are the two final bosses, so yeah. I mean, I suppose it is technically the third to final boss, being that Red Volcano and Egg Rock don't have one, but even so. That does remind me, I said in my SRB2 2.3 update video from a couple of weeks ago that I didn't think that Egg Rock was going to see an Act 3, you know, a boss fight, because I always just took Black Core as being like an extended Act 3. But a lot of people disagree with me on that one, so I'm curious what you guys think about that. You know, I always took Black Core as an extended version of Egg Rock's Act 3. Seeing as it's the same aesthetic, it's the kind of the same point in the storyline, it always just kind of took me as like an extended Act 3, like a multi-stage one. But a lot of people are like, no, I see them separately, and it's like, oh, okay then. Oof, didn't quite mean to do that. That, and also, do you think that Red Volcano is going to get a boss fight in 2.3? Because they definitely said that it's getting the second act, but I haven't seen anything about, or I can't remember seeing anything about it getting a boss fight. I can't remember if it said it was going to get an Act 3. So I do wonder whether Red Volcano is still going to be slightly truncated in comparison to other stages in the game. Which is going to be better for a speedster. This way, that way. This way. I'll go this way. Take the magnet shield because and use it for the shield part of it, not so much the magnet. Could leave or do with that, but it's just so that we don't have to sit around in this laser corridor section. Awkward. I have been taking steps to try and get through that area faster, like practicing how to get through that section faster than I have in the past, because it does drag on if you're sitting there and like carefully checking that you're in the right place, lead stage. Right, there we go, now we got the speed. That final bit always rattles me, when you just barely lack the speed, or you're just barely in the wrong place to get to the top of the thing. So you're like, oh, do I jump for it? Do I just spin and hope for the best? I think I've talked about that in previous streams, but it always gets me. Oh well, we'll go super for the final section. Doesn't really help, but maybe it'll give us the oh, does he not? No, he's immune to space, it looks like. I don't know whether that's a vanilla Metal Sonic. Oh no, it's just delayed. Wonder what's going on there. Wonder why it didn't trigger for like 15 seconds. That's another stage done. I think we're going to be beating this faster than usual, to be honest. It usually takes me about 40 minutes to get through the story with each character, but I think we'll probably get through this in... Well, actually no, probably about that much. Looking at it, I think we're on 32 minutes now. Yeah, no, I think we'll probably do in about 40, same as usual. I suppose it's 40, skipping a few sections and all the rest of that, but doing 40. Full game. Right, we'll go for this guy. I'm going to need you to hit me because I need to lose my shield. Right, hit me there, that's good. Right. I say I need to lose my shield, but I actually need to lose it about here, because I want to go super, but I don't want to, like, run off the edge in that section. So now we'll activate the super form. There we go. I was about to say, what's going on there? Messed that up. I was about to say, are we going to have the distance maker? Yeah, it's really curious how the space thing's working, because it does trigger, but it takes a while. I'm curious whether that's intended or not. Because Metal Sonic 3.0, I think he's Sonic Rivals, if I remember correctly. I don't think that space comes into that game. I'm fairly certain the conclusion of Rivals 2, which I think Metal Sonic 3.0 is in, is that you actually go to Silver's future. And it's kind of like a sort of a Crisis City situation, again, because the guy can't catch a break. Right, come on. Looks like we're going to be able to skip the really horrible platforming section, so that's good. We've got no jettisons here to bother us because we destroyed them earlier. The one thing I don't love about SRB2's trigger system is that there are some situations like that it feels like it would be really cool if you could effectively skip the level if you knew that was just one long shaft, one long like central atrium of the level. It feels like you should be able to just fly up there or climb up there and skip it. Like even as, you know, maybe a shortcut for new players or whatever, if they don't want to go through Egg Rock 2. You can make it like super hard for Sonic because he has to take it. And then for characters like Knuckles or Tails who are a bit more beginner oriented, you could potentially let them skip it by just going up the central atrium and skipping all but the final section of the level. Like, I think that would be kind of cool. Sup, dude? How are you? Yeah, if I remember correctly, Metal Sonic 3.0's whole thing is that he's like the Eggman negative. I'm just going to say that to avoid any potential problems. Eggman negative equivalent of Metal Sonic. So he's like, I don't know. What is Eggman negative at this point? Is he a Soul Dimension equivalent of Eggman? Is he a future version? Like, he keeps changing. I can't remember. Right, I'll go super because I don't want to bother waiting around for those lasers. And then I don't think we can gain the height to take the shortcut. So we'll do it. We'll do the actual platforming. There we go. Now we're high enough. And we'll just skip over all of that. Awkwardly get stuck behind that pillar. And can we get ourselves off to the end? Yes, we can. I remember I impressed some people in an early stream by just getting a really quick Metal Sonic takedown with Sonic. Like, a bunch of people saying it was like the fastest they've seen Metal Sonic go down with the vanilla characters and stuff. So I keep trying to go for that level of hype again, because it was pretty impressive. I think in many ways, Metal Sonic's actually easier with the vanilla characters than he is with a lot of modded characters. I think he's like the one boss like that. Just because he plays so poorly with a lot of mods that it's difficult to like get him to duck away. Whereas obviously with the vanilla roster, he's a lot more forgiven with that. But I do think that in many ways he is actually harder with modded characters. Whereas everyone else, because they can just hit them from afar or even, you know, deal a lot of damage in a very short time frame. I think they're actually, you know, usually better for it. I think Metal Sonic's an exception. I think maybe that colours my opinion of him a little bit. As much as everyone says that they dislike Metal Sonic, I do think my opinion's maybe a little bit coloured by the fact that I'm fighting against him with modded characters most of the time. Right, gate, yes, there it is, tunnel. Right, final boss time, let's go. Let's wrap this up. Yeah, about 40 minutes it will take us. Why didn't we get the whole falling down animation? It's a bit strange. Right, please don't hit me. Why did you turn around right at the final moment? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? There we go. Oof, really messed that up. Oh, I can't see, stuck behind a barrel. I think we can probably get one more hit in before he goes back into a sealed. Yep, there we are. I think Black Eggman is a pretty cool boss, like in practice and even conceptually certainly, and even in practice. I do think he is a little bit let down every here and there just because of how SRB2 handles animations. So like for example, if he had like a couple of frames of warning before he starts firing missiles, I think that would probably be better. But you know, that's SRB2 can only do so much when you're using the Doom engine. You know, like, that's just how the engine works. You can only do so much. There we are. Yep, and we even get a gloat on him with a really cool idle animation. Probably the coolest of any character I can think of. Can't think of anyone with a cooler one than that. He's just going to use Metal Sonic's firework, isn't he? Yeah. It'd be kind of cool if he had made them golden, but whatever. Right, well, let's go to Metal Sonic then. He really is just an upgraded version of Metal Sonic, and I don't think he does much with that to make him genuinely better. From like a enjoyability point of view, I don't think he is actually better than Metal Sonic. Certainly stronger, but yeah. Right, and obviously a speedster, to no one's surprise, because he is just Metal Sonic. Right, Eggette, basically Egg Pack. I think he's technically slightly nimbler. Like, I think he's a bit faster in a lot of regards. But I think otherwise he's basically the same. Like, if I remember correctly, it's a slide and then the whole rocket jump. I said they're explorers, but I suppose it's more that they're flyers, because they're not really reliant on the level design to do anything. They just fly everywhere. There we go, get through that very quickly. They're probably like the one set of characters that I'm genuinely like, please, can you just go down to the ground faster? Please. Like, when you let go with the jump button and you're like, right, okay, now go to the ground. They just take ages. Alright, now let's see. Okay, yeah, they can break things with their slide. Still able to do that, so it could be an explorer. I think we'll figure it out as we play what they are exactly. Oh, is the signpost animated? I was looking at my OBS at that moment, so I wasn't sure exactly, but it looks like they have like a full-on laughing thing going on. Yeah, nothing on the custom buttons, so no taunt or whatever. I'm going to assume that taunt probably is just going to be laughing. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we are. To no one's surprise. I've always wondered where that laugh comes from. Obviously, anime and all the rest of that, but like, where did anime get the idea for it? Oh yes, they can also press L2 in the air for like a quick burst. Except they can't do it while using their jetpack, so it is kinda... You have to know where to use it. It's not like you can just use it willy-nilly. Right, and then we land on the ground because else it will take us an AIDS to fall all of the way down. Right, we are going the same route, so let's actually divert ourselves. Oh, actually, I was say that, but I don't think we can. I think we're a little too late to do that. Yeah, no, we can't. Never mind. Right, same route as usual then. There we are. Up we go. I have always wondered, how did people look at that upside down Eggman sprite in Sonic Mania, the one in the spider, and genuinely think that as being another character and not just upside down Eggman. Obviously, I know a lot of people just kind of took the idea and ran with it. They didn't genuinely think that, but I have seen some people who were like, yeah, no, I genuinely Genuinely thought that that was a new character, and it's like, what? How would you have got to that idea? Like, where do you think Eggman was going to fit below that? There's barely any room left in the head. Right. Fly up here. Get out of the way of the enemies. Jump straight down here. Whoa, okay. I think that was probably momentum from leaving the goo or something, because that was miles. Right, we'll go this way because we took the other way last time. And we'll take down here this time because we took the other way last time. Ah, I thought we could outrun it. Not quite. Had to vanish for a little while. So is he just a moveset clone of that other Eggman? Kinda, yeah. I think she is a little bit lighter. It's a character by Light Dash, so they don't hide away from the fact that this is effectively a reskin. But I do think there are like some slight statistical differences. But yeah, conceptually, moveset wise, like ability wise, identical. I think it is just statistics that are a little bit different, if that. But it is mostly visual, which makes her a little bit hard to rank. Like, you know, it's going to just be the egg pack's rank, and then it'll be like either one place above or below. Is it like, wow, whose sprites do I like more, really? Yeah, okay, so she does definitely laugh in the signpost. Right, come on, Eggman. Let's just get this done. Boom. 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 16 seconds. There you go. Go on. Have a laugh. Sift around my chair a little bit. Oh, just about my... Oh, it looks like she can maybe run on water a little bit. Interesting. Slip just through there. Eggman wins because the failed trick sprite with X momentum is the Family Guy Death sprite. Yeah, I'm more thinking about the super form of like the really buff design. I like how everyone just kind of accepted that as Eggman's like super form. He just becomes a super buff guy. I think that's fun in its own way. Ooh, actually, Eggman had a different design for his like super form thing. He didn't just turn super, so I'm curious what C has for that. Alright, I think we'll be able to get to the end without drowning. It is kind of cool that she plays the bumper noise when she's hit. You know, obviously dress design and all the rest of that. Oh, we're so close. So close. It does interest me how this area is just barely fast, short enough that if you can like perfect it with like speed sneakers and all the rest of that, you can just about get to the end of it without having to stop for air. I think it could do with maybe being a little bit more forgiving for some of the slower characters. It's perfectly possible with some faster ones, but slower ones it is a little bit annoying that you have to get like right to the end and then like, oh no, sorry, quick diversion. What does he do? Does he get like a bumper sealed? Is that it? Interesting. Alright, let's just speed through this. Oh yeah, Nights into Dreams. That's one of the games in the backlog now. So I'll finally be able to see like where all of this came from, because even to this day I don't really get it. Like, I understand how it works now, but how could you make a full game out of this? Like, how could you, you know, obviously Nights is boss battles and all the rest of that, like enemies, how does that all play into this? I'm struggling to see it. Right, okay, so nothing that interesting. The continue's kind of funny, with like the eyes looking to the side, up the top of the glasses. That's kind of funny. Right, and then spinning around on water slides. That's fun as well, but we'll see plenty of that later on, so... Just barely perfect it. I do think it is a fun design for Eggette, Omelette, whatever you want to call them. As much as I don't quite get how people came to produce her, I do think they ended up creating a pretty cool design. And I like how I find it funny that the idea of Eggman's daughter did eventually come to pass a couple of years later with Sades, and they look nothing alike. Like, completely different designs. I do think that's kind of funny. That people were right that they were going to be given the whole Eggman's daughter, niece, whatever Omelette was supposed to be. I can't quite remember. But they were off by a few years and with a completely different design. Even personality. I think Omelette's like a usual in a lot of, like in this mod and then a lot of other appearances, he's like a bratty kind of character, whereas, you know, Sades is pretty much anything but. I don't really get why she can run on water though. Ooh, ooh. That was a bit risky of me, but just about got there in the end. Ah. Going for the rings didn't quite work. I think there is something to the character with the whole, you're trying to time your usage of your jetpack just barely enough to get up to places and avoid it running out. I do think there is an interesting enough dynamic there. Okay, can't break through those. If I did earlier, forgot about it. Kind of stuck in the corner for a bit, but that's fine. Ooh. Right, can you... Bread number 1 says, didn't play SRB2 for like 2 years, anything changed yet? If you're talking vanilla game, no, not really. They have shown off a couple of things about 2.3, you can see that on my channel. In terms of mods, there have been a couple of big ones. Let me think, what's been in the last 2 years? X-Sonic would have been in the last 2 years. I mean, Silverhorn characters are really kind of at the higher end of that. They just about be within 2 years, I think. Who else has there been? I'm seeing a lot of stuff about SRB2 Generations. That's something I want to kind of try out at some point. You know, just go back to doing a couple of more maps rather than just characters. Dbiter3574, how's the Cyberdyne realm changed much in the past few years? I think they have had a couple of updates. I think. I'm not sure how significant they've been, but I'm fairly certain the Cyberdyne realm has had a couple of updates. I've I've downloaded it, but I don't think I don't remember making a review of it because I wasn't enjoying it. But it's one of those things like Sonic and a couple of others where I've just been like, I'm not enjoying it, but I know that I'm clearly seeing it wrong in some way. So I'm just going to leave it be, and then maybe in the future I'll try it and see how it goes. It's why I haven't done Super Mystic Sonic yet, because it's like, as much as I'm not liking them, I know that that's because I'm playing on controller. So, yeah. Looks like they don't have a super form. Bit unfortunate. Like nothing on custom buttons? No. Well, that's a bit of a shame. To be fair, I don't know how recent Eggpack's super form is. Like in the grand scheme of things, I don't know whether that would have been before or after this mod would have come out, because I don't think Eggette's been updated in a fair while. Ugh. There we go. Up here. Just real smooth gameplay. Not speedrun level, but smooth. Right, no point collecting these rings because they're useless to us. Well, is there at least any progress on 2.3 that was shown? Yes. We know exactly what 2.3, or mostly what 2.3 is going to be about now. More so than we have in the past. We've seen kinda some basic progress. We know what's not included in it. So we have seen a fair amount from 2.3. And I reckon we're probably going to see at least a couple more drops throughout the year. I think in my in my video about the update, I think I said that I expect to see it probably later half of 2027. Obviously, barring any significant changes, like people leaving the team or something happening, I can probably see late 2027 as being roughly around the release date. If I had to guess, based on current trajectory and all the rest of that. Right, we'll go this way this time. I mean, this is an open area. I reckon we can probably, yes. With our ability to fly, we can skip a lot of this and get right up to the bridge very quickly. Right, and I think we can probably use the, like, jet burst thing to get up here. I would use it to get across this, but I think that's very bold, so we're not going to. We're just going to use the jetpack. Might have been a little bit slower, but we're definitely making it with that, so works out. Yep, there we are. Avoid the Excalibur. Is that the Excalibur? No, it's the Lancerbot, sorry. I can't remember. I think Excalibur is a different name for the Egg Colosseum, maybe? I've definitely seen that somewhere before, but I can't remember off the top of my head where. Right, just barely cleared that set of spikes. Right. Good to make the leap. Oof. Just barely missed it, but that's why we got a jetpack, it's all good. I like it when Susie's is the first on that signpost, because you get like a sudden massive like triangle appear on the side of the sign and then disappears almost immediately. Oh, I didn't spoil myself with what Ultimate Cheat does. Anything interesting? I'll show it to you at the end of the stream. You know, say if you're not going to be there the entire time, and I'll just tell you now, but otherwise I'll keep the suspense going and say, just wait until the end of the stream. It'll be a good way to like end it with a bang, you know. Right, get that immediately. As I say, you can use the jet burst to get up here quickly. Once again, use the jet burst to quickly make our way over. Don't have to play by the Colosseum's rules. Messed up the jump, but it's fine. I can save myself pretty easily. Is there a destroy all bandits thing on here? I can't remember. Yes. Does that destroy bosses? I haven't actually used this before. Yes, it does. Interesting. You know, that's the first time I've actually used that. That command. Strange though it is to say. I've never felt the need to press it before, even out of curiosity. I just don't think I'm a particularly curious person in that regard. Like, pressing things that I haven't before and all the rest of that. Like, I think I'm curious with finding out new information, but when, like, faced with things, I think I think I just end up using the same stuff over and over again. Like, can we get up the entire way here? Yes, we can. Break the level in two. We'll see you get through both? Yes. Oh, and since I'm more famous for Sonic X, is there any new Sonics? Since X Sonic, yeah, Frontiers Sonic is probably the biggest one. I don't know whether there's been any other Sonics or any other Sonics have had major updates, but definitely Frontiers Sonic. Ah, skimmed it. I saw in the Dipper Deliver video an advanced Sonic, which I haven't heard of before, so I don't know whether they might be new. Yeah, there was an advanced Sonic that I hadn't seen before. But then there's been a fair number of characters in their speedruns that I haven't seen before. Like, CD Sonic. I think with just like how my content has changed and it's been made longer and all the rest of that, I spend more time with individual characters. I just don't have the ability to really try out each individual, to like switch between characters really quickly. Yeah, we're gonna go back and we're gonna go into that minecart. Is it down there? Oh, well, whatever. We'll go for this one. Seeing as we're down here now. Bit of a long-winded way to get here, but get here we have. He did? No way. No. Yeah, modern Sonic V6 is forevermore under development. I don't think it's ever coming out at this rate. But you know, that's always constantly teased as coming soon. Well, I don't think anyone's ever claimed it's coming soon, but it's always teased as it'll be here eventually. At this point, I'm not even sure whether it's real. And I don't even care about modern Sonic all that much. Right, this section again. There's no variation to it. We just do as we always do. The only variation that you could ever really offer to yourself there is trying to go for the life capsule that's a little bit earlier on that middle section, but it's like, I don't care for it. Let's just go. There we go. Okay, so what says thought Modern Sonic V6 was releasing whenever 2.2.16 is out? I mean, I've never heard that. But again, I don't care about the character all that much, so I haven't been keeping up with them. If we have this command, let's just do that. There you go, confirmed, Fang's a robot. I love it when you end up defeating them before you break the roof. I think it was the same with Casey. Because, yeah, is 2.2.16 out? No, it isn't. 2.2.15 is the most recent one, and that was just like a patch update. Because they really biffed it. Again, just watch my video, my most recent video about 2.3. I think it's about a month old. That kind of goes into all of the details about what's going on, what's going to be in 2.3, when this and that happened. Oh no, messed that up. But it's fine, I'm a flyer. I'll just go back up anyway. Yeah, flyers are always a bit uninteresting for me. Don't think there's very many interesting flyers. Just because, like, what do you do to make them interesting? To be a member of the archetype, you automatically need to be pretty overpowered. But also, it's rare to be able to have a flyer that can gain much speed. So, like, you can take interesting routes and all the rest of that just because you have such interesting, like, options for mobility. But you're not going to do any of it quickly. Right, we're going to land on this platform because I'm not confident about getting all the way over here with our remaining fuel. Every time, I never get through that bit unscathed. We'll go this way for once. We'll never go this way. But seeing as we're a flyer, let's see. I mean, it's not a huge difference. If you're flying and can just skip over the platforming challenge, it's not much of a change. But yeah, it's a pretty risky route if you can't. Oof! Get past all the terabytes. To everyone's surprise, they're usually much more accurate than that. Eggette. Right, into Egg Rock. And let's see if we can go to the right this time. Yes, we can. Let's see how this goes, though, because usually I play this section as someone who can sneak all the way through, but yeah, worked out fine. There's this gravity section. We can probably use the jetpack to get through this faster, but I don't want to risk it. Sink to the floor. Don't need to do it, but you know, just a little bit of extra security, you know. Oh, and talking about types of character, what is your favorite type? I think the most interesting one has to be Mavericks, just because, like, what wacky thing are people going to do with it? But I think in terms of just, like, generally playing around, probably a Speedster. I think all-rounders are pretty boring and flyers are a bit too easy and a bit too slow a lot of the time. Combatants are very hit and miss. Sometimes you get a good one, but most of the time they're pretty bad. Yeah, all-rounders a bit boring. Yeah, definitely a Speedster. Meme characters, I'm not a particularly humorous guy. I don't find much enjoyment from a lot of meme characters that other people do. So I'm not a huge fan of them a lot of the time. Especially just because by the nature of memes, they often get pretty outdated fairly quickly. Right, you don't want to be hovering around the middle for too long. There we are. Hopefully this should be a pretty easy section, or at least easier than it is for most characters. Because you don't need to worry about this staircase. What is your favourite OLDC and or ULDC? I don't really know. I haven't played a huge number of OLDCs. I was thinking about changing that. I've been thinking about videos I could do relating to OLDCs and ULDCs. Especially because I saw a trailer not long ago for like, I think it was for an ULDC. Can't remember who was hosting it, but yeah, I was definitely thinking about finding some way to talk about OLDCs and ULDCs and all the rest of that. Because they're a pretty big part of the modding community, and it's just, I don't talk about them at all. Which is a bit of a shame. Probably don't need to worry about these platforms as much as I am. We have just about fast enough to make it back over in time. That section's throwing me off because it's not letting me slide for some reason. It's only letting you slide if you have a certain amount of room beforehand. I forgot the year, but it's an autumn one. It has a moon level, and that was my favourite. Yeah, like I said, I don't know the OLDCs, ULDCs enough to be able to tell you. Maybe the summer one, like the one that was like on a summer beach house thing. That was kind of fun. But then there was also that one that was like in a cave. But to be fair, those are also the only two that I've ever played, so who knows. Right, it's this one, with this stuff on top. It's that one you really want to jump over. It's got a really good loot at the end of it. We're going to try and fly over here. We're going to see how successfully that goes. Let's just fly all of the way up and see what happens. Game does not like that at all. Okay, never mind. Let's not do that. Let's just play it normally. Safe and boring. Oh, I was like, oh, that's twice in a row we've managed to get over that thing. Just for it to throw me backwards anyway. Thanks, game. Probably have just used the jet burst, but it's alright. We're here now. Right, up here. Grab the rings. And boom, here we are. The beach one has a Mars level. Do you recall it? And if so, did you like it? I can't, I'm afraid. Ooh. Oh, no. I think I might remember which one you're talking about. I think there were if it is the one I'm thinking of, there were parts of it I liked, but I think I, on the most part, found it to be pretty frustrating. Oh, it started to really rain outside. Oh, damn that, Paulie. It's starting to really rain outside, so sorry if that's starting to come through the mic. But yeah, I think I remember the Mars level you're talking about. There were some cool ideas, but I think a lot of it I found to be a bit frustrating. Can't remember why. I think it might have just been a bit, like, confusing in terms of where you were going and stuff. Right. Oh, skimmed the corner. You need to follow the blue path on the ground there. I thought there were at least one checkpoint before this, by this point, but no. Right, fly around here, yeah. Fly over the jump, don't need to bother with it. And this time we take it a bit slower to make sure that we're definitely staying on the path. There we go. Who is your main in this game? I don't really have one. I don't return to characters all that often, to be honest. There are a couple of characters that I like enough that I do replay them sometimes. But for the most part, I think I generally just go for new characters. Tangle is someone that I'm meaning to play more of. After the last stream, I can't remember which stream it was. I think it was the stream before last where we were playing as Tangle. I was like, oh yeah, no, actually, she is pretty cool after a long time of finding her to be a bit annoying. So, just got there in time. So yeah, I think Tangle is someone I'm meaning to play more of in the future. Whisper as well is someone I mean to play a bit more. I suppose in terms of absolute time I spent playing as a character, X-Sonic's probably up there just because I could not get them. I would, and then there's the whole like speedrunning thing I did, or like trying to do speedruns with him that I struggled with because again, wasn't very good with him. So in terms of absolute time playing, X-Sonic's up there, but I wouldn't call him a main because I didn't enjoy him all that much. I played as him so much because I was like, there's got to be something I'm missing with how much people are talking about them. That should protect me, shouldn't it? Yes. That elemental shield. Neo Sonic is someone that I play a fair bit of. Play a fair bit of Neo Sonic. But not for a while, so I don't know whether I could call them my main. I think probably just the vanilla cast, to be honest. In terms of how often do I play as this character, I play as the vanilla cast the most, probably. I think we can just fly up here before things go wrong. Yeah. And then this section, you just kind of want to run for it. Right, then you jump over here. Let's take this way back. Don't think it's really faster, but it's just a very slight change of scenery. Set off the cannon, and we're ready to go. But I say that's the teleporter, isn't it? So only very recently I found out about that entire area. Because I just... What? How did that happen? But yeah, I just kept dying on the like opening section of that direction, that first split in the path, so I just didn't go here that often up until fairly recently, where it's like, oh, this is a way more interesting like side to the level than the main path that I've been taking all of this time. I like how we've gone from about to finish this out with 161 rings, and now we're finishing it with 0, big fat 0. That's twice now that we've beaten this level in this stream with 0 rings. Ugh. Crack my neck a little bit. Let's go. Okay, can't break spikes, just checking. Yes, Meadow, clear the way for me. What's going on in the current ITW arc at the moment? I know that's all about Sage and Metal Sonic, so somewhat relevant to the character we're playing as at the moment. In terms of daughter figure of Eggman beefing with Metal Sonic, I'm going to assume that the two of them aren't the friendliest, Metal Sonic and Sage. They didn't give me the vibes that they'd be particularly friendly with each other. Right, and that's Black Core Act 1 done. Very quick. To be fair, it's really a test for Sonic. With anyone else, it's a really easy level to get through very quickly. There we go. Alright, you gonna just run away from me? Yes, good. I think the reason the modded characters suffer fighting this guy a lot more than the vanilla characters do is because a lot more of modded characters, many more modded characters have undamaging jump boxes, like jumps that don't damage an enemy, in comparison to the vanilla roster where it's just Amy and Fang. And then Fang obviously has the pop gun, so he can do that. It's really only Amy that has any kind of difficulty hitting Metal Sonic, because you just have to time it well, and that's not exactly difficult. But with a lot of modded characters having significantly more complicated attacks, I think Metal Sonic struggles with recognizing them a lot of the time. So I think that might be the reason that modded characters suffer fighting him a lot more than vanilla ones do. But that's just my guess, and he's getting me every time here. It's a bit embarrassing, to be honest. Oh, come on. Going out of nowhere. Where are you? I got you eventually. I have no idea where the door is. I don't know how you're supposed to tell which direction it is, other than just kind of hoping and guessing. I'm guessing this wall. Oh, look at that. Somehow got it right. Family portrait. Alright, niece versus uncle. I believe that's supposed to be the kind of accepted, at least on the download page for Eggette. I think that's supposed to be the given relationship between Eggman. Can you just go into the acid, please? Stop attacking and just go into the acid. Why are you attacking so much? We barely started. I know people say it's something to do with like the enraged dynamic of the original Cyber Demon code, but like, why is it that sometimes he starts enraged and other times he just doesn't? There we go. Probably could have gone one more hit in there. I think we're going to have to go for 3 cycles this time. I think there was a bit sloppy on that first cycle of attacks. Barely tears around, but... Oh, okay. You did go into it. I was about to say, you can't go that close to the acid and not go in it. Eggman versus Eggette, isn't that friendly fire? I mean, this is after we've gone and beaten up Metal Sonic, so after we had just played through all of this with a Metal Sonic variant, I don't think this is the first bit of friendly fire Eggman's experienced. Come on, dude. Just get in the acid and let's get this over with. Easy. Good of you to block the door to the escape pod with all of the fire, though. Thanks for that. Bit rude. Right. There's that. Let's see. Oh, I didn't see their firework. Missed that. Skipping through it too quickly. Pressing the custom buttons. Alright, one more set of characters to go. It's DeltaChars, who I'm just going to play the one playthrough with. But we are going to do that on custom set maps, because I have played as them fairly recently. It's just a case of deciding which one. Say to blast. I need to update that. I need to go and replay that with the updated characters. Cyberdyne Realm. No, not a fan. Mystic Realm, no. Emerald Quest is a bit dull. Yeah, but I like consider the metal thing training of some sort. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Sunset over Chaos. No, that's all boss fights. So it's just answer. That's a bit of a... I need to do a couple more maps, to be honest. Ooh. No, it's not Sonic Adventure Genesis. Let's do Angel Island Tour. Angel Island Tour we'll go with. Start game. I suppose start with Chris, and I think you can...
Strange things have been happening on Angel Island.
Yeah.
Asked our reporter on the scene to investigate.
Bob, can you ask the local about it?
Thank you, Jim. Mr. Nichols, sir, what can you tell us about...
Get off my island!
Thank you, Bob.
Right, so...
With the weather.
Delta Characters. Played them fairly recently, but... The basic idea is that you have Chris, who is your... like... balanced character, I think is the way they describe it, but think of them as like your speedy character. Let's just get that Chaos Emerald. You have Susie, who I was about to say, I believe is like your height, is your attacker predominantly. Rousey is your like mobility guy. Oh, by the way, have you tried Steph characters? Yes, I have. Played all of them. Has there been any drama in the SRB2 space? There was a little while ago for leaking Metal Sonic V6, like early assets and stuff. I don't know whether there has been anything recently. Right. And can we get up here? I think Rousey feels a bit strange. I think the thing that gets me is that it really feels like Rousey should have a glide, and they don't really. Like, there's Pacify, but it's really bad for being a glide, and it feels like they're kind of missing that. So I don't actually play as Rousey that much, because I just find that Susie does a lot of the same stuff and does it a lot better. Like gaining height, not quite as much, but it doesn't feel as awkward as it does with Rousey. Oh, I was looking at the comments and ran straight into them. I have a combo, by the way. Interesting. Got through you. Ah, jumped, but you need to jump twice to be able to damage them. You can also press custom 1 and 3 to skip between them in different orders. Bit eager there, Chris. Right, okay, fine, we'll do Rousey. See, like, there really should be a glide. I suppose the closest you have is... if we get Rousey back up. Is you do that, switch to Chris. Oh, but then you can't use your sword slashes, so that's not that effective either. Susie jump plus Rousey 5 spin jump thing. Yeah. So like that. Yeah, you gain, again, you can gain a lot of height. It just feels like you can't gain enough vertical distance at the same time to really make good use of it a lot of the time. Just a little too short to get the balloons for the Chaos Emerald, but that's alright. Oh, slip behind the sign. That feels like it should be like pushed right up. And then it didn't let me use Pacify for some reason. There we go. I end up lunging into walls every time. I'm not trying to do it, but I just do. Momentum loss is a problem, I know. I think that's just a weakness of the character, though. Like, I don't think there's much you can do about the fact that they just don't keep much momentum. Because you're switching between characters a lot of the time. So there's just no good way to keep your momentum going without losing it very quickly. But I do think that on an individual merit, I think a lot of them, they're all pretty cool. I'm going to rank them as a single individual character in the ranking, because that's the only way you can really play them. But I'll probably like mini rank them within that slot, so that you know which one's my favorite, which one's my least favorite. But I think in terms of the overall rankings, it'll just be Delta characters, whereas most other character packs, I'm ranking them separately, just because they're a lot more individual a lot of the time. For Delta characters, you're switching between them so often, that's such a core part of playing as them, that you can't really rank them individually and feel fair, because they're just not as individually fleshed out as most modded, most character packs are. Get you out of the way. Can't remember whether, I don't think it's here that the lava rises. I think that's in a later section. Or at least if it does, it looks like it does actually, it does it so slowly that it's not really a threat. Oh, come on. It turns out those signposts are a lot thicker than they look, hitbox wise. Oof, hit the pillar. That's good, that's fine. That's fine and dandy. Get up here. Oof. Did that at the wrong time, but it turned out fine anyway. It's all good. Like, if you could do Chris's sword spins after hitting Rouse's Pacify fire spin combo, I think that would probably fix my main issue, which is just, again, lack of horizontal movement while in the air when you're not playing as Chris. It's just the fact that Chris's sword slashes in the air are just locked out if you're using anyone else, so it feels a bit awkward. Gotta go, it's getting pretty late in my country. Fair, thanks for sticking in, you guys. I have followed YouTube statistics with like choosing the times for these streams to try and make sure that it's right for as many people as possible in terms of the viewers I'm getting. YouTube Studio gives you like a little breakdown of when most of your viewers are watching, so I've made these a little bit earlier than they used to, just to kind of catch that. I mean, also for my own benefit, because it gives me a little more time after the stream finishes to do things like write the mini reviews and stuff. Oh, let's time that. Right. Why did you rush so far ahead there, Susie? Can you please get up here without just dying immediately? Thank you. There we go. It was a bit sloppy in the end, but we got up here. So it was pretty late around here too, around 8:30. Right, into Angel Island Fall. I remember when I first tried out this mod, it was really laggy on my laptop, because that was all I had to play SRB2 at the time. And then, so I kind of dropped it. And then came back a little while later and being really surprised at the fact that, oh, there's this an entire like second half of the mod that's almost completely unrelated to the first half now. So I used to finish at Angel Island Fall, which is still very much kinda a retelling of Sonic 3. And now it's like a whole on Pepsi plotline and all the rest of that. Now it's like, what the hell? I gave the level pack too low of a ranking for it originally. I complained about it. It's like, why is there the sudden like change of tone? Whereas now I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's just fun. Right, just go straight up here. Don't worry about it. Oh, just barely get up here again. That's good. Oh, just barely missed the springs. Save ourselves, but that was close. Just means you don't have to go around that entire like side bit. Oof. Alright, it's very dark here. There we go. Are things a bit messed up? Yes, very messed up. We're going backwards here. Right, there we go. That's what we're trying to do. Not sure if it's your style, but there's a mod called SRB2 Persona, and most modded characters are compatible. I have played a little bit of it, just with like the vanilla experience. I didn't have any other characters loaded. It was on a previous stream. I've been meaning to get back to it, but these streams have been keeping me busy. These character replay streams. I'm waiting to eventually be able to get around to just doing more varied streams again, but these streams are serving a purpose, gotta do them, so at least for the foreseeable, it's all character replay streams. Oh, that was close. Couldn't get there. Oh, messed that up. There we are. Good. I don't know if it's cancelled or not, but it does still have some servers. I mean, I was playing it single player, to be honest. I've not had much luck with trying to find SRB2 multiplayer servers, so yeah, I've always just been playing them solo. Right, there we are, we're good. Come on, Eggman. That kind of wet thunk is a lot more menacing when it's not just like a hedgehog-sized ball hitting him, and it's instead a full-on sword. That makes the whole thing a bit more threatening. That final like wet thud when you hit the guy. Ooh, slightly different connotations. Ooh, nope. Oh, ooh, ah. It's always a bit frustrating, like messing that up, because you're forced all of the way back here. Right, we'll just go normal way, fine. We won't try any cool tricks. It does kind of annoy me that if you're too fast in that final section, you just get hit.
Stars the test.
Preparing tests.
Subject 506, move forward! Subject 506, the test! What do you prefer? Pepsi Cola or Brand X Cola? Alert! Alert! Subject 506 escaping! Alert!
Easy. I do like this level. Again, I gave it a 7 out of 10 in my original review, and that was way too harsh. It's way better than that. Oh, come on! That was going to be a cool skip. Did I get the emblem? No. Alright, we're going a little bit of a different path than I usually do, just because we've been messing up some jumps, but here's what it is. Aiming the lunge is a little bit difficult, but that's really the only problem I have with Chris. I think he's definitely the strongest character in the pack. Oh. Susie, second strongest. Rousey, good ideas, but I think they're missing a few things that I think would really tie the whole thing together with Rousey. Oh, just going through all of the balloons, that's fine. Why? Sometimes Rousey just doesn't let you use your fire spin, and I don't know what's causing it, but it's annoying. I'd like it if they stopped like glitching out, please. What the? Oh, right, balloon. I was about to say, how did I do that? Oh, this level's really good right up until you do something that kind of messes up your flow, and then it's like, oof. Don't know why that happened. Just barely make it over, yes. Right, good. Ooh. Yes, just about managed it. Alien looking through a coursing window, so why not? I remember some people got really... There was a bit of fan art recently. I think it was probably... Oh, come on. Maybe... Ooh, how long was it been? 3-4 months ago? Of like a bunch of alien characters being like, hey, what's out and all the rest of this. And some people got really angry because Sonic was on there and he was being treated as an alien. And it was like, no, I mean, he is. Like... If you're looking at it from a modern point of view, Mobius is very explicitly not a future Earth anymore. Unless you're following like original American law. Sonic's a guy from a different planet to us, so he is very definitively an alien in the sci-fi sense of the term. This is one of the levels I tried to speedrun. With my ex-Sonic, like, speedrunning thing. Didn't go all of that well. I think we're doing better with this, to be honest. I think the problem with that is as much as I tried to do it so that I could make something that was fair towards X-Sonic, X-Sonic's such a demanding character that he really can't be your first experience with speedrunning. He's just not really built for it. Right, we're definitely not fast enough for the proper just running up the road strategy, so we are going to have to, I think, probably stick with Rousey a lot with this. Like these. Maybe if they even just had like a slow fall after the fire spin with Rousey, I think would add a lot to them. But just without it, it's like, why can't I do this? Oh, just about. Oh, come on! Oh, actually, no, you can just run up the road. It's slower than I remembered it being. Oh, I remember watching a ton of Roger Van der Wade animations a few years ago, but it does interest me that they just kind of ended up becoming a SRB2 map creator. It's not a particularly normal, like, fan career trajectory, you know? Like, to go from animator to effectively designing levels, if you will. Now, the awesome. Wait, why hasn't anyone made a major SRB2 Chow Garden yet? Like, I keep seeing these major gameplay overhauls. Maybe it's save limitation, but I don't know. So make it like tiny Chow Garden just for normal Chow.
Hello.
Right, I'm skipping this.
Come sit here and listen to my tale.
Chow Garden. Yeah, I don't think there's any ways you could make that really possible. Like, all of the things people would want from a Chow Garden, I don't think there's many ways for that to be realistically implemented into SRB2 as it is. Yeah, I don't know how you'd go about it, but I'm not sure you could realistically do what people would want from it. I mean, sure, there'll be some interesting proofs of concepts out there for it. Okay. I don't think I've gone this way through the level before. Great. Well, I guess we'll start from the beginning again. That's fine. Oh, it's the lorries. It's the fact that they can come and be different heights in the roads that's kind of annoying. If they were all just cars, it wouldn't be too bad. But it's the fact they're all different sizes. So you can take a perfect line and still be kind of screwed over just because it's a size different than it was last time. Oh, right. Let's not go this way. Let's go. Yes, let's go through this house. Ooh, nearly got through there. Right, we'll jump early so they can get up here. Where? Oh, right, in the tunnel down here. I was like, where are we going? Okay, can we at least have a character because we got nothing? Yeah, I am a little surprised there isn't like even like a little low effort just ripping sprites for the Chow Garden yet. I will admit I'm a little surprised that hasn't happened yet. Like something like Flicky, the Flicky mod. I'm surprised nothing like that's occurred. The problem with character switching mods is I end up feeling like I need to be switching characters constantly, even in areas like this where there really is only one that's really realistic to use, being Chris. It feels like I'm not really representing them as fully as I should be when I'm just playing Chris, you know, despite the fact that it's like, well, who else would you be using in this area even? This section annoys me a lot. There we go. The conveyor belts where like even when you're right at the end of it, stuff can still be coming towards you and it's just like, well, how am I supposed to avoid that? That annoys me. But it's all good. Oh. Oh. We got it. Eve saved it. Alright, we're going to drop down here. Just to get the Pepsi. Slide right past the way up. And a perfect bonus. Didn't feel very perfect to me, but sword game. If you want to give me 50,000 points, that's fine. Right, we're in a boss fight now, so there's only one character for the job.
Grand X Cola is mighty.
Susie.
Grand X Cola is power.
Skip over. Let's go here.
No one can resist Grand X Cola.
It's enemy shooting from the sky. Not much we can do about it, but there we are. Just kind of do this for ages, and it's like, what if I get hit? There's not much I can do about it, is there? Oh, Apocalypse Shield. Don't mind if I do. There we are. Right. Are we at Commander Towers yet? I think there's... Nope. There's these guys, but we can just skip past them. Don't need to worry about them at all. This is... Commander Towers now? No? No, we're in this section first. Okay. Rousey's going to be best for this. Right, there we go. It's 2 hits. Easy. There we go. And now we switch back to Susie to deal with Captain Towers, which is a very nice addition from IDW. That's an IDW thing, the whole Captain Towers name. And it really matches him. I think definitely seems like a Captain Towers, you know. Problem is that he's got a really annoying like moveset, and it doesn't really complement Susie's moveset at all. Like in terms of things you have to do. Like Susie's very much an in the air kind of person, and they just can't do that in this fight all that well. Whoa, okay. Getting a bit close there, dude. Right, that's like a desperation attack, I assume. Let's see. There we go, dead. Boom. Brent number 1, yo, I'm back. Right for the ending there, but so... You know what? When I get my PC working, I'll let you know and make a child mod that isn't just a rip, but it might take a while.
I still
nice.
prefer my cola.
Yeah, I don't like Pepsi. Anyone have Dr. Pepper?
But there we go. There is the Delta characters complete. Again, kind of looking at them as a single whole. Definitely an all-rounder, because, you know, they fit everything, but... I don't think they really work as individual characters. Oh, and Bread Number, if you're back, you were the one asking about Pandora's Box and all the rest of that. Let me just quit the game and I'll show you what the ultimate cheat does. Just let it load back up and we'll show you. Who's the best Bodhi's Basics songs or SRB2 songs? I wouldn't know. I've never played Bodhi's Basics. I didn't even realise it had music. Right, I think we should just be able to go into a level select. Green Flower Mountain. Here is what the ultimate cheat does. Are you ready? You ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom. It shuts down the game. That's all the ultimate cheat does. Shuts down the game. Whoa! Wind jump scared me. Wow, okay, that was strong. That was very strong. Right, one last thing before we finish. As usual, we have to go and figure out who we're playing on the next stream. We'll organise for 3. We might go it up to 5, if depending on the characters we have. Yeah, you tell me it just crashes the game? Yeah, that's exactly what it does. Right. Please just go onto the roulette wheel straight away and not onto the studio, but I know that it's a pointless question because that's exactly what it's going to do. Window capture. Oh, it did go straight to the roulette wheel. That's a surprise. Right, okay, so we're spinning for 3 characters. I think there's a couple here that we've done before because it just keeps adding them even though I remove them, but first character we're going to cover next time is Ryder. Yes, Ryder the Falcon, I think they were. They're like a geomancer. They pull blocks out to the ground and then you use them for various things. Then there is... Let's have a look. Russ characters. Well, I mean, the first one there's Blaze. So Ryder, Blaze, and they stay on the wheel because there's still one to go. Obviously with Marine. So they stay. And then 3 years of no spoilers just for that. Yeah, it's maybe don't get your hopes up. And Mario Brothers, who I'm fairly certain is different from N64 Mario. I'm fairly certain I've done different Marios. So, Mario Bros it is. I've listed both of them because I'm fairly certain that, you know, Mario and Luigi are basically the same. But, yeah, there you go. There is our set for next time. Ryder the Falcon, Blaze the Cat, and the Mario Brothers. A version of the Mario Brothers, whichever one it ends up being. I don't know who I meant when I listed that. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. There will be a Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest episode coming out later today. Let's see. Give it maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, and it'll be out. And then that will be a series that finishes tomorrow before we move on to Altered Beast. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next time I stream. But for now, thank you for watching, and ciao.